Wow, now this is definitely an article that we thought we wasn't going to be getting into, ladies and gentlemen, as it has pretty much one of the most bizarre things, and if the person that actually wrote this article actually knew, or this opinion piece, as like they like to call it, like about like calling this series Keijo a misogynistic piece of shit and child porn. Now, this is the thing where it's like, there's actually some good news into this and some bad news, but I'm going to be reading off the article and all that, and it's like, the new anime Keijo, if you don't know, is a fucking series that's out right now. It's like one of the most popular ones out this season. It still bizarres me that it is about like women who use their booties and their tits as pretty much their weapons in the battlefield. It's ridiculous and all that. A lot of people enjoy it. Personally, it's a bit too bizarre for me to even enjoy. But what happened is that we have an opinion piece, and it started off first with actually someone like doing like a little impressions on it, and they were saying like, I'll be proud to tell any of my sisters, my daughters, my wives, I'm a huge fan of Keijo. If any, like, as this person, I believe his name was William Hicks, as he continued, the show's empowering message of self-reliance and sportsmanship has convinced me to review my gym membership so that I one day can launch my opponents across the pool with my ass muscles. Don't listen to the naysayers. Keijo finally subverts the sexism inherent in most anime by giving women a voice to talk about something else besides men. Now, this is like, and this is the thing, like, you think, oh, well, what's wrong with this? How is this misogynistic and child porn or anything like that? And since then, like, for it, the actual like opinion piece and all that, like Hicks' opinion piece, has instead been redirected to someone known as Louise Mensch, whose title is "Boob and Butt Fighting Anime Keijo Isn't Just Misogynistic, It's Child Porn." Keijo follows a normal practice in anime of making the characters seem young with large, wide eyes. This may not usually be a problem, but in Keijo it definitely is, claims Mensch in her own piece. The soft porn premise of the show is now paired with anime characters that look like children. It is the combination of porn and cartoons that's disturbing at first, and then it moves on to child rendering typical of anime that is fine when a character is non-porn but gross hell when the cartoon in question is nude women fighting with their sex organs. She continues. I fear that Feminists and Feminists are going to wind up on the same side, and quite honestly, if you are a bloke who likes mud wrestling porn, maybe you should grow up and get out of the comics section. Ooh, now that's something there and all that, and definitely and all that, this has generated a lot of backlash because of this article, because one, like, I feel like it's fine to have two opinion pieces on it, like a series on that. Like, obviously, like, everyone's gonna have their own different opinion on the series, and I thought it was kind of interesting that you got one, like, guy's, like, sort of way, or he's like, I'm encouraging it, whereas, like, this series has actually got me to get to a fucking, like, gym and all that worked out, and, like, making jokes saying, hey, maybe one day I can use my ass muscles to send the other people, like, across the fucking other side of the pool. I thought that was actually kind of funny, but it getting removed, and then this woman here, which she, like, calling it, like, you know, softcore porn, and that is child porn. I do have to disclaim some stuff to that, because, you know, people know I'm not the biggest fan of this show either, and all that. Like, you know, it's wild, it's goofy and dumb, and I generally think, like, it's exaggerated as hell, where they're, like, sending, like, asses, sending off, like, giga drills and breakers. But one thing I have to say, what she is clearly fucking wrong at, like that, and she's saying the children look like, the, you know, the people in the show and all that look like children. I have to disclaim, every single girl that I've seen in that show, by the way, is 18. Like, they're over 18 or they are 18, you know, which, by the way, in the UK and in the US and all that, you know, that's legal, you know, age and all that, and that's considered as a woman. Now, she's just, like, saying in her preference, saying, oh, she looks like a child and all that in this anime series, and it's like, no, like, don't call it, like, it's like, you can say if it's misogynistic or something, like, you know, because I'm really tired of, like, these fucking, like, feminazis going around everywhere. Like, it really is kind of annoying, like, when you see this just on a lot of, like, sort of, like, LA news articles that we see recently, like, because that's what it honestly feels like to me. I know, like, that can get me in shit saying some of that stuff, and it's not like, you know, you respect, like, women's opinions, but then, if you're gonna do that, though, and act like this, then how are you gonna say that, or when there's so many, those otome games out there, if we're going by that logic, what about all the ones that, like, all a bunch of hunky, muscular boys are going after, like, one girl, and it's like, oh, Sugoi, like, going into there, or let's add into that to want to get more real in the world, what about adverts and all that, like, what when we had like some man that's like fucking built like a brick shithouse, like fucking rubbing down his hair, Gillette the best a hunk can get, like, you know, when you got stuff like that going on in the car. But no, they're not gonna put some fat motherfucker like me on the internet, are they? They're not gonna put me on an advert saying, oh, Gillette, the best another whack man weight can get. Oh, it's like, no, never gonna do that. And generally the fact, like, yeah, do you want to call it like it's a fucking, like, it's a titty show and it's way too, goes too much with the booze and all that? I will say it's up there. I think it is ridiculous. It's goofy as hell. Doesn't need to exist. I don't know. Just have this like harem animes and all, like, and ecchis, because this is the thing. Like, from what this show looks like, this is not a harem at all. This is like just ecchi. But I feel like there are worse things to like take a shot at. But this seems like someone that's clearly ignorant to anime and like clearly doesn't know how Japan works. And by the way, how the fact that, and in their age and all that, you know, like around like 16, like even underage of that, like 14, that's legal in Japan. Like, that's legal, and it, in their own way, it's like, I believe, to encourage people to go out there and have sex, but then it's kind of devaluing the whole sex out, because no, I got my waifu. It's just clearly that. No, but I think generally it's shady as hell, the fact that there was someone that probably was like being a fucking social justice warrior when this guy put their piece out on this, and then generally like, no, I'm gonna write an article, this is self-core porn, this is bullshit, like, you know, and I think that's a really fucking scummy thing to happen. And the fact that, you know, this bitch and all that is just like acting like she's fucking like better than everyone, and just saying like no, like, you generally don't know how the fucking world, like, that world works and all that. Generally, the fact, yes, is it misogynistic? Like, I'm not gonna really like debate, like, fucking argue with that. Yeah, like, like the whole point of the show and all that is like generally to show like a bunch of booty and a bunch of asses and all that, like, but then you could say that with every other time. Like, if you're gonna go like that, okay, what about this? Like, you know, it's the same, and then we just lead into the same thing where it's like, no, who can scream the loudest at this point? Is it child porn? Hell the fuck no. That will be the one thing I put the fucking foot down and all that. Like, do you see fucking like any like little 12-year-olds and all that getting like molested or raped? No. You need to actually classify that with your so-called child porn. Like, I could, like, do an opinion right now. Are you a cunt? Well, yes, definitely you are. Since you clearly don't know your fucking facts and all that. But there we go, buddy. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below and all that. Like, it's really annoying the fact that this kind of had to happen and all that. I mean, and it's a show, this is the most popular show, like, of the season so far. So obviously it's going to be garnering a lot of attention. And it's a shame that we just get some assholes, like, out there. And, like, the fact I ain't going to judge you for what shows you watch and all that. Like, I don't care if you watch Yaoi Yuri or you go fucking ham shit crazy to, like, High School DxD. As long as you're happy, who the fuck cares? And as long as you're not hurting anyone, or even like you're doing some really fucked up shit, like actually watching proper child porn, then yeah, then you're fine in my books. That's all from me, everyone. So thank you much for watching as always, and I'll see you guys though next time.